Hi Gemini, welcome to your October Astro-Tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Gemini, this is for you. But remember, because I'm using astrology for these, your ascendant sign is likely to be the most accurate. It's going to be the one that speaks the loudest to you on that day-to-day sort of level. So check that out if you're only going to watch one. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. I would be eternally grateful. I'm chasing that 100k YouTube plaque at this moment in time. So help me make it happen, right? Now, also, if you want to get your personal reading, you can do that on the link in the description box below. Remember, these are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you all on your paths to your highest vibrational good. So the first transit that I want to look at for you over the course of this month, and I apologise that they're so late this month. On the 3rd of October, Mars is going to come into a conjunction with the South Node in the sign of Libra. Libra for you occupies the 5th house of your chart, right? So what do we need to know about this? The 5th house is your pleasure, joy, romance. It's the fun part of your chart. It's where you have fun, where you're playful, where you're energetic. If you've got children, they are your 5th house. This is all stuff that you kind of typify when you're looking at the 5th house. It's also romance, and it's like romance in terms of, you know, when you first meet someone and you get the butterflies and you feel jittery and you kind of all giggly and stuff, like that is the 5th house romance. The 7th house is more like a serious commitment. This is where you're kind of just having fun and seeing how it goes. It's also your creativity, your joy, your pleasure and your play zone. Now, the sign of Libra itself is all about relationship. It's about partnering. It's about weighing up the options and looking at them. This is something that you and Libra both actually have in common, right? You love to look at what the options are and see which one is best. Whereas the difference between you and Libra, I would say, Gemini isn't necessarily concerned with which one is best for everybody as Libra is, whereas Gemini is more a case of, well, I want to know what the options are and I want those options to continually be available. Now, the Mars energy is action, passion, energy, excitation, and it's coming into a conjunction with the South Node, which is about release, moving away from, removal, excretion, elimination. These are all very South Node energies. So I see this as kind of like Mars coming into a conjunction, which happens once every year and a bit, coming into a conjunction once every year and some. Coming into a conjunction with the South Node, this is like a scissors, right? And what happens with the scissors, you cut something and the other piece goes away. So this could be, if you're in a relationship that is not sort of very strong or one that is very new, it's a possibility that it comes to an end, but it could just as easily be that you and your partner decide there's something that you want to release from your relationship as a collective in order for you to have more fun, right? We don't want this, we are doing this. I also wonder here as well, if there's a relationship that is highlighted to be toxic and therefore needed to be released in some way, it could also show up with a person in your world or sphere that you maybe doesn't necessarily see you in the way that you want them to, or vice versa. And remember, the 5th house is a very lucky energy. So at any rate, this draws kind of, a conclusion of, well, you know what? Maybe I just get excited and start really doing what I can to create my own luck and get rid of this idea that it's just going to be delivered to me. For this, you've got the Star card. Love that. You got this with the Queen of Wands. Okay. And the Ace of Wands. Well, I gotta say, it looks like the 3rd of October, around this space, you are potentially connecting with someone who is passionate, vibrant, energetic, and somebody that really gets you to see what it looks like on the brighter side of life. This could be actually, maybe Mars conjunct the South Node is someone helping you get rid of your, I mean, Gemini tends to be quite an optimistic sign anyway, but this could be, you know, someone is showing you how to release or let go of your personal pessimism in some way. It could also be that someone is helping you build a project for the future. The 5th house is a very creative space as well. So if there's something that you're working on for your future that is a creative idea and endeavor, maybe someone's helping you work on a website, maybe someone's helping you clarify what it is that you actually do and what it is that you want to bring to the world. Very exciting. On the 9th of October, Venus is going to come into the sign of Virgo. So Venus in Virgo is technically in its detriment. It's said that, you know, she kind of struggles a little bit here. I personally don't see it that way. And maybe that's because I have like quite a difficult chart. So, you know, it's like I've got to take the good stuff where I can get it. This for you, Virgo, occupies your 4th house, right? 4th house is home, family, property, real estate, your deep emotional sense of self and your deep sort of emotio-psycho sort of spiritual roots and foundations, right? Where you come from. And in the sign of Virgo, Venus is a cleaning energy, right? She likes to clean things up. She likes to make things better. She likes to sweeten the deal. Venus is a lady, darling. She likes clean, you know, all of that clean water, fresh flowers, you know, vanilla scents, all of that kind of stuff, the sweet stuff, the luxurious stuff. And in the 4th house, you might go on a bit of a rampage for the next 4 weeks where you just start really cleaning your house, where you start really getting everything in order. If there's something not working, you go about getting it fixed. If there's something that is, you know, not really fit for purpose or whatever, you get rid of it. You start to really clean and clear up your space so that it becomes a place that you really want to inhabit that much more. It could also be that the deepest emotions that you've got swirling around your inward self, you start to clean those up, right? Maybe your inner world becomes a lot less turbulent and you start to really sort of make progress on moving forward in some way. I like this for deepening the bond with parents. And you almost like doing what you can to shine your love, your light of grace onto your parents, and it connecting or strengthening the bond between you and your parents with, you know, with this connection. Or maybe your parents are doing this with you, or maybe you're doing this with your children. Those would all still come under the 5th house is more children, but you get my point, like people that you live with in the same space. All in all, though, I think that Venus in Virgo, I think, is going to be quite nice for you. You've got this with the 2 of Pentacles, potentially spending money on the home. For some of you, potentially spending money on a big purchase for the home. And you've got this with the 3 of Swords. So the King of Pentacles is usually an earth sign male, Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo. And this could literally see you... yeah, like in one way, this could see you maybe releasing, or yeah, maybe there's some luxury item that you have wanted to buy or needed to buy or purchase, etc. And now you realize, you know what, as much as I love that idea of having that thing, or I've got this, you know, giant fish tank in my front room, it's not practical. It kind of needs to go. And so anything that's superfluous, that isn't really up to par, especially because we're talking about Virgo energy in the 4th house of home and family and property, you might start getting rid of things that you kind of look at and think, you know what, it's lovely, but it just doesn't do what it needs to do. This thing with this 2 of Pentacles as well, you might start to get really serious over the next 4 weeks about how you can bring more money into the home, or how you can have more money to play with when it comes to the physical dwelling. On the 12th of October, Mars, the planet of action, energy, passion, excitation, irritation, war, right, is coming into the sign of Scorpio. Mars rules Scorpio anyway. Okay, and so the beauty of this is Mars has a good affinity with Scorpio. It knows how to use this energy. It also comes into, for you, Scorpio represents your 6th house. This is wonderful for you because Mars exalts in the 6th house. Mars does some of its best work in the 6th house. Outside of what the sign is, Mars does some really good work here. This is a dutiful soldier Mars. This is in a house that it likes in its own sign, so it's a very strong Mars for you. And it's giving it's like giving you a chance to really put your foot to it and get down to brass tacks. You could really start to use that like energetic, action orientated advancement. And this is looking at your habits, your health, your physical health and vitality could get a real boost at this time. Be careful because there's a possibility that you could burn yourself out here as well because you're expending so much. But this is your moment to start like a new diet, a new exercise regime. There's energy here for the shaping and using. So do something with it before it does something with you. You got the 2 of Wands. Okay, with the 4 of Wands, wow. And the King of Wands, that is a lot of energy. Now, what do we see here? The first thing first, you got 2 twos. 2 twos represents a bond, a pact, or an accord. And then you've got the 2 kings. 2 kings represents minor council. And then you've also got the Queen of Wands here as well. So with such a concentration of court cards in your spread, it does suggest that a lot of this month is very much about relating and relationships of all kinds, personal, professional, and platonic. If you are single and newly dating someone, there's a possibility here that you might end up needing to choose between partners. Listen, Geminis love their options. So if you're single and looking to mingle, or you're seeing someone but it's not really solidified or exclusive or whatever, this could be a time where you are in your element because you're in that space of needing to choose between, potential suitors. I mean, like I said, there's worse problems to have, right? And then finally, because it's the King of Wands with the 4 of Wands, this is good news, celebrations that show up for you around the work life, around the recognition for what you're doing, around the money that you're making from things that you have self-generated, which could be very, very nice for you. And because of these two twos, a bond, a pact, or an accord, it's like the connections that you have to these kings and this queen, it is across the board, right? And if you're partnered, this could be that you and your partner are starting to really look at what the next place that you're going to live in looks like. You're getting a lot of things ready and prepared for whatever your collective next step is. And then finally, on the 24th of October, the moon is going to come into a conjunction with Saturn at 0 degrees of Pisces, and they are going to trine the sun at 0 degrees of Scorpio and Mercury at 3 degrees of Scorpio. So there's a lot going on here, and this for you is happening across the 6th, 10th house and spaces. This connection for you, this is where our habits, our daily grind and our routines feed directly into our work and our public status and career. And it's like, although this is like Saturn and the moon in your 10th, the support that they're getting from the sun and Mercury means that this is like something that solidifies your desire for success. And it's taken to understand, like you're taking it to say, I know this isn't going to be a quick fix, but I've got a plan, I've got a strategy, I know what the skills are, and it's like, I know what the skills are that I've got, and I know how it is that I can push these forward. And it's like, it provides this really powerful boost of energy to see things through to completion. I love it. For this, you've got the Temperance card, so you're passing something with flying colors here, but then you've got the 5 of Wands, and you've got that 8 of Pentacles. So I'm just going to tell you straight up, you do have competition. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, you do have competition, but you are going to blow your competition completely out of the water, so you don't have anything to worry about. All right, very, very nice. So let's have a look at your lunations. For these, let's see. So on the 14th of October, we have the new moon solar eclipse. And on the 14th, that's on the 14th of October. Oh my gosh, Raf. On the 14th of October, we have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Libra. It's the first one of its kind. This for you is happening in your 5th house of joy, pleasure, romance, how to enjoy yourself more. And the discipline card, believe it or not, is about what we have to work hard on and where we should put our efforts. And so the message here is you got to start getting serious about having a life. You got to start getting serious about having fun and joy and pleasure and romance. You got to start really dedicating more time to those things for yourself. And then for your full moon lunar eclipse, the last one, thank heaven, in the sign of Taurus, which for you is in your 12th house, right? That past privacy, hidden sort of behind closed doors energy. You've got the gate 42 and closing, which literally represents the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. And the fact that you've got this on or for your full moon lunar eclipse, which is a grand completion or ending point, and it's the final one in that Scorpio Taurus axis, I think is a big deal. I think this really does suggest that you are not only wrapping up one eclipse cycle, but one larger cycle in the grand context or scope of your actual life. And you will feel this. It will feel like something has just been sealed behind you. That's like a point of no return, but in the best kind of way energy. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. If you want to get your own Astro-Tarot scope with me, it's one-on-one over Zoom. We look at your biggest 4 transits coming up. We're going to look at your lunations, all of that good stuff. And this is all about your chart in specific. So if you want to get that, you can get it on the link in the description box below. It will be fantastic. Anyway, with that said, take care and I'll see you soon.